The 2018 Vast Challenge MC1 is built upon the results of one of the 2017 Vast Challenges, whose results suggest that there is a connection between Kasios Furniture Manufacturing Company and a decline in the number of rose-crested blue pipits in the Boonsong Lekagul Wildlife Preserve. A banned substance, methylosmolene, was detected in smokestack emissions and allegedly dumped in the northeast region of the preserve. Naturally, Kasios refuted this claim and launched their own investigation. They provided a set of data that allegedly contained 15 recordings of the rose-crested blue pipit thriving across the preserve. We turned to machine learning and visual analytics to investigate this case. We focused our investigation in 3 areas. First, we looked at bird call data supplied by the wildlife preserve to characterize any patterns and find any trends or anomalies in the data. Second, we looked at the data supplied by Kasios to see if it supported the claim that pipits are thriving across the preserve. Lastly, we formulated our own hypothesis and suggested further tests to get a more conclusive result. So here we have a map of the Boonsong Lekagul Wildlife Preserve and the dumping site overlaid as a big red star in the upper right quadrant of the map. Here we have a time distribution of the data collections. Most of the recordings are in the 2011 to 2017 timeframe, and 2018 data isn't 100% available. The 2018 data that did exist also seemed abnormally small, so we decided to not use any 2018 data in our analysis. Here we have another time distribution plot showing that the data was recorded mostly in the morning and also mostly in the second quarter. This is a scatter plot of the location of each type of bird recording over all years. You can see that the rose-crested blue pipit, denoted by the hot pink star, is in the upper right quadrant of the preserve and pretty close to the alleged dumping site. These plots show the number of recordings versus time. On top we have it for all birds, and on the bottom we have it for the rose-crested blue pipit. There is an overall decrease in recordings for all birds beginning around 2015, however the decrease is much greater for the rose-crested blue pipit. Here we have the distance from the center of the cluster of rose-crested blue pipits to the alleged dumping site, calculated 2 different ways. Over time, you can see that this distance increases. Here we have data provided by Kasios laid over the data provided by the preserve. The Kasios data is heavily located on the left-hand side, whereas the preserve's data is most dense in the upper right quadrant. To further investigate the claims, we created a neural network to analyze the bird calls provided by Kasios. The goal was to classify the bird as a rose-crested blue pipit or not a rose-crested blue pipit. We also did a visual inspection of spectrograms to see if the sample matched the spectrogram of the rose-crested blue pipit for all 15 samples provided by Kasios. Here we have the results of the model prediction and the visual prediction. Overall, we concluded that cases 2, 9, and 13 are rose-crested blue pipits, whereas the rest are not. And our visual inspection also agreed with our model prediction. Here we have the Kasios samples over the preserve data. Purple denotes the Kasios samples that we identified as rose-crested blue pipits. The 3 samples that we did identify as pipits are very far from the dumping site. Our hypothesis is that the population of the rose-crested blue pipit is both decreasing and moving away from the dumping site since around 2015. To more strongly support this hypothesis, better quality recordings would aid the machine learning model, and pollution data from the preserve could help us isolate 2015 as the beginning of the dumping.